from beginning to end is very brief. He says, women on film, either naked or dead. Both is better. And it's like, whoa. Ooh.
In today's Hollywood, where conforming to the woke narrative often seems...
Welcome to Pegasus versus the World, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel.
City boy! City boy!
All right, you guys, we're back with Mel Gibson Shatters Woke Culture, and Hollywood is furious. This is on a channel titled Woke Busters. If you enjoy this content that I'm reacting to, go support the original content creator. I'll link it in the description, or you could just look up Woke Busters. I've done a couple of their reactions. I did a Ricky Gervais reaction on here, and man, they put this together really well. And they're a small channel. It's like right now as we speak, it has like 16,000 subscribers. So if you rock with them, go over there, let them know I sent you. Let them know I reacted to their videos. And yeah, man, support. Show love, get love. Anyways, this is part 2. I reacted to the beginning half of this, and so the conversation got me stimulated because they started talking about the entertainment industry and Hollywood being like super woke. And because of that, it's kind of the death of creativity. I added that also Hollywood is lazy because like all the remakes, it's just like there's too many incredibly creative and imaginative people in the world for us to have all these remakes currently. Like, because you got to remember, I was born in the 80s, 1980 to be exact, and I grew up watching 80s and 90s flicks, and they were always just coming up with these like even Stranger Things, you guys. I was watching that the other day. I was like, this is put together really well. But they're biting from this movie called Firestarter. I remember when I was young, there was this girl, she used her mind for like telepathy to like, I don't know if it's telepathy, but to like move things. And the government was trying to get her. And then her father could move things or do something, but he wasn't that powerful. But she could start fires with her mind. And she'd blow shit up, start fires, and blood would come down her nose. And I'm like, yo. They took the concept of an old movie from the 80s, Firestarter, and they went ham with Stranger Things and they went off the cuff. It is very different, the upside down and stuff, but the fact that they use the same imagery with the bloody nose after she uses her mind to do stuff, I was like, bro, I saw this before, you know? Long story short, recap of the last video. This got me sparked on talking about Hollywood, the industry, and how lazy and how whack movies are. Like, you got to think about how many movies are on Netflix, and I'll just watch movies from the 80s and 90s. Like, I'll be watching the original Karate Kid, Mad Max. Like, it's just funny, man. Anyways, let's get into this and finish this video. If you're here for it, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you want to support my other channels like my podcast or my music reaction channel, there will be a link in the description. This is Mel Gibson Shatters Woke Culture, and Hollywood is furious. Let's bring it back. I've seen that last clip a million times now. All right.
In today's Hollywood, where conforming to the woke narrative often seems more significant than tackling real-world issues, Mel Gibson emerges as a defiant figure. While the industry presents itself as a beacon of social justice, it frequently prioritizes protecting its image over confronting uncomfortable truths. By attempting to suppress films that challenge their agenda, Hollywood inadvertently amplifies the very messages they seek to downplay. Gibson stands out as an unconventional filmmaker. Unlike the industry's politically correct box-ticking productions, he chooses to tell stories that challenge norms, provoke thought, and stir controversy. For instance, Hacksaw Ridge tells the true story of Desmond Doss, a man who saved 75 soldiers during World War II without firing a shot. The film is raw, emotionally gripping, and unflinchingly depicts the harsh realities of war, contrasting sharply with the sanitized Hollywood narratives audiences often encounter. The response was overwhelmingly positive. Critics praised it, audiences embraced it, and Gibson received yet another Oscar nomination. More importantly, the film demonstrated that viewers crave authentic, impactful stories, not just those that neatly fit into a politically correct framework. Now,
what's crazy is I didn't know he made that movie. I've seen that movie. I love that movie. And this is what's funny. You know, it's ironic because they saying he goes against the narrative in the sense of he's like looking for authentic storylines, new things, which I actually enjoy. Like, he's right. But what's funny is that story, the quote unquote woke culture. I don't even really like using the word woke because it actually started out as something different, especially in the streets and hip hop. It was like, stay woke, homie. Like, and it was more like for the conspiracy theory homies. That's what's ironic about woke. If you didn't know that, like in the streets, like a lot of cats who were hip to like 9/11 stuff and da-da-da, they're like, stay woke, bro. Like that was the thing. That was the lingo, right? However, it switched and now it means like you're super progressive, left-leaning, what they would call a liberal. I don't get it. So I feel weird using woke sometimes. But long story short, a movie about someone who is like average, you know, like he's not some diesel dude, literally saved a bunch of lives without using a gun, right? And we're in this time where the woke would say, you know, ban all guns, ban all knives, da-da-da-da-da, right? And so it's funny because he actually makes a movie that also kind of highlights something that's really cool that could actually fit with them as well, and they don't even see that. They're just like, oh, it's Mel Gibson. So anyways, I just thought that was interesting. Let's see. It looks like they're about to talk about Passion of the Christ, which I've never seen. I remember when it came out. I forget how old I was. But I had strayed away from my faith at that time. I was like, man, this is, like, it's kind of wild when you think about it. Anyways, let's go.
Received yet another Oscar nomination. More importantly, the film demonstrated that viewers crave authentic, impactful stories, not just those that neatly fit into a politically correct framework.
Or a remake.
Now, with The Passion of the Christ, Resurrection on the horizon, Gibson is gearing up to push boundaries even further. This upcoming film, deeply rooted in Christian themes, is anticipated to be just as, if not more, controversial than the original. In a Hollywood that often sidesteps or dilutes religious content, Gibson's bold embrace of these themes distinguishes him from his peers. His willingness to create such a film shows he is unafraid of controversy and indifferent to the inevitable backlash. It's noteworthy that Gibson's colleagues support him even when it's unpopular. Robert Downey Jr., for example, has openly praised Gibson for his support during a dark time in his life. Downey Jr. recalled how Gibson encouraged him not to lose hope and to find his faith, emphasizing that it didn't need to be his or anyone else's faith as long as it was rooted in forgiveness.
It's crazy because isn't Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man? I don't be getting into this like comic book no more, man. Like I like Batman the first couple, but when they made 30 of them, I'm like, it takes away the special from it. Even if it's a great movie, it's just not special to me anymore. It's just like, all right, we're gonna have 30 Spider-Mans, 5 million frickin' Supermans, 80 Batmans, 30 Iron Man. Yeah, let's get this money. Like it's just, I don't know, man. That's just me. I'll be watching old 80s flicks like Shogun Assassin, bruh. One of my favorite movies of all time. Fire. Some of the Blind Swordsman flicks, Itachi from back in the day, those are crazy. But anyways, yeah, I just thought that was crazy because if he was Iron Man, then he's a part of the Avengers. And I just remember the Avengers collectively were like, this in 2024, they're like, vote this way, you guys. Vote to this side. Like they literally are like, yo, you need to vote for her because this, that, and the other. And it's obvious who Mel Gibson rocks with. So I just think that's super funny. And behind the scenes, I wonder if there's like a conversation where these Hollywood people are just bought and paid for. Like someone like Robert Downey Jr. is like, yeah, Mel, I had to say that because, you know, I'm trying to get my career back. They tried to cancel me and say I did some stuff I didn't do, but, you know, so I have to do it if I want to keep making these millions. And that would not surprise me, you know, if behind the scenes he was like, yeah, actually. So it's just funny how things work out. But anyways, let's go.
This personal support reveals a different side of Gibson, one often overshadowed by his controversial public image.
Actually, I asked Mel to present this award to me for a reason, because when I couldn't get sober, he told me not to give up hope, and he urged me to find my faith. Didn't have to be his or anyone else's as long as it was rooted in forgiveness.
Hollywood's response to figures like Gibson underscores the industry's inherent double standards. When celebrities such as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson face accusations of scandalous behavior, including involvement in child trafficking conspiracy theories, reactions are often mixed. Some defend them, while others quietly distance themselves, but a significant uproar is seldom seen. In stark contrast, whenever Gibson critiques woke culture, the backlash is swift and severe, revealing the hypocrisy at play.
In today's...
Hold on. What? are they talking about? I never heard that about The Rock. Like, what did I miss? Because, like, I'm kind of into the culture war and things that are popping off. Like, I ain't into it like Don. Don be knowing everything, that fool. But I ain't never heard no allegations like that for The Rock. That's crazy, bro. The other thing I was going to say is in my first reaction, I started it where, like, I was like, Mel Gibson does have some crazy takes. There's like, I like this. This is like, oh, man, Mel Gibson is cool. But I always like to reiterate things that I see where I'm like, oh, he a wild man. He a madman. I've seen him say some things like, I don't know if I agree with that, Mel. But the craziest thing I ever seen was that and this isn't to, put whatever on his public appearance or anything like that. It's just what I saw. Saw this clip. He's in a domestic dispute with his girl at the time. And y'all let me know if I'm wrong with this, because I saw the clip with my own eyes, but she wanted to go out somewhere and she was about to leave and he was like fuming and he was just like, I hope you get R-worded, and it rhymes with grape, by a pack of N-words with a hard ER. Yeah. I was like, oh, what? This is my Lethal Weapon homie, my Mad Max homie? God, why'd you say that, man? But again, this is the thing. We've all done stupid things in our life, and giving grace, like what he talked about, the forgiveness. It's like, bro, that's real, man. Like, judging a man for his lowest moment is just not the way to go for anyone, right? And so, like, when I say that, it's also like these people, it's like trying to find that balance. There's certain things you can't come back from, like violent acts, So it's like, even though I'd like to give someone grace and a second chance, when someone shows signs of being a predator in that sense, it's like, hey, man, we know what you are, so I got to stay away from that. But there's also that balance where people do change and they are not what they seem from their appearance. So it's like trying to walk that balance. But I mentioned that last story in my last one just because I'm not over here like, oh, Mel Gibson is the greatest human being of all time. Worship Mel. Like, nah. God first. We're all just men. And that is just a example of us all just being men. Try to be better. Try to do the best you can. Let's get it. Now, let's see what this is going on about The Rock, because that's a crazy allegation that I ain't never heard before. All right, let's see.
The hypocrisy at play.
In today's easy cancel culture world, and cancel culture, woke culture, this culture, that culture, division, etc., that really bugs me.
The key distinction is that Mel Gibson refuses to...
While he's sitting with his little tequila brand, getting his money, bro, The Rock is so breaded up.
back down. He has witnessed Hollywood's darker aspects, endured public scandals, and faced blacklisting, only to emerge stronger with a renewed sense of purpose. For Gibson, this struggle goes beyond filmmaking. It's about saving the essence of Hollywood. So what does this ongoing battle signify for the future of the entertainment industry? One thing is certain, Mel Gibson is not going anywhere. As Hollywood pushes its woke agenda, Gibson stands firm, and he is not alone. His films resonate with an increasing audience that feels disconnected from Hollywood's current trajectory. His readiness to voice his opinions, even when unpopular or risky, is attracting new fans who appreciate his defiance.
It does feel different. I think because, I don't know, I think just because I've been around longer, it's different. Yeah. I'm more relaxed about the whole thing, you know, because there's no point in being anything else, right?
It's true.
So, you know, I'm not going to get all wound up about it. I'm going to just try and, like, observe.
Yeah.
But the battle is far from over. Hollywood operates as a formidable entity that resists challenges. Yet, Gibson has shown that he is willing to confront powerful figures. Regardless of whether you share his opinions, it's clear that Mel Gibson is making waves. The industry is beginning to feel the strain. As Hollywood seeks to balance artistic freedom with social accountability, Gibson's steadfast opposition to the woke agenda has made him a contentious figure. Some see him as a pioneer pushing limits, while others consider him disconnected from current values. What's undeniable is that he is one of the few who dares to question the established norms. Gibson's resolve to present genuine, provocative narratives despite potential backlash highlights a larger dialogue about the importance of free expression and storytelling in our culture.
You know, I had a whole bunch of weird...
What's crazy, not only is he, going against a lot of the norms currently, which is super cool. I think it's very necessary. But just seeing all these clips of him reminds me of how good of a actor he is. He's actually a really, 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 really good actor. So he's like that triple threat because he can produce these movies, write them, he could act in them, and then because he's such a familiar face, like he could lead in them as well. So interesting to me.
Genuine, provocative narratives, despite potential backlash, highlights a larger dialogue about the importance of free expression and storytelling in our culture.
I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
At its core, Gibson's journey is not merely about challenging Hollywood's values. It's about advocating for a style of storytelling that confronts difficult or unpopular truths. His work resonates with an expanding audience that feels sidelined by the industry's narrowing focus. As Hollywood struggles with its identity, figures like Mel Gibson are compelling the industry to reassess its priorities and face its own contradictions. Ultimately, whether you agree with him or not, Gibson's influence on Hollywood is undeniable. His resolve to uphold his beliefs serves as a reminder that some voices will always push back against being silenced. What do you think? Is Mel Gibson a visionary filmmaker driving a vital cultural shift? Or is he simply disconnected from the evolving landscape of Hollywood? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more comprehensive updates on this unfolding story.
How old is Mel Gibson? 69. So he's 69. That's crazy. He's about to be 70. That's actually pretty wild, you guys. There's multiple things here. I don't think he's doing this as a business move, but what he is doing, when you see it and you see the money it generates and the appeal it has, it's just a reminder of America. And people be like, oh, it's white. No, man, America is a Christian nation. And I don't know if this statistic, I'm just making some shit up, but I'm willing to bet that there's more Christians in America than Muslims, and there's more Christians in America than atheists, and there's more Christians in America than Mormons. We are still a very wealthy nation. Also, people migrate from America to other places. There's other Christian nations, but America is still what I would say a Christian stronghold. So when you do these type of flicks to a market that will accept it, and then go to markets, that will accept it, it's not a bad business strategy either. It's not a bad, because it's like these markets have money. Like I've learned that from YouTube. Like when I was watching some of my reactions to, like, let's say if you react to K-pop, there ain't no money in that because the advertisers don't pay to put money in front of the Asian market like that. But if you're doing something and it addresses the Western markets, Europe, Canada, Australia, America, you get paid. Why? Because advertisers are trying to put their brands in front of that market because that's the markets that spend money. It is crazy. All I'm saying is behind the scenes, he has a good strategy. The other thing is this channel, Woke Busters. As I'm listening to it, I'm realizing something. It's a faceless YouTube channel. And what's interesting about faceless YouTube channels, let's say someone got kicked off YouTube. Like one of your favorite creators, let's just say they got kicked off YouTube. They could make a faceless YouTube channel. They connect their Google AdSense, different bank account, different phone number, whatever. And these faceless YouTube channels, they gather clips, they write scripts, and they can write scripts now using ChatGPT to help them. And then they hire a voice actor to read the script for, on Fiverr for $50, $40, whatever. Now they got a video. And this shit got 3 million views. I don't know. That just got me thinking. I was like, that's kind of wild. That's kind of crazy. Anyways, if you're a reaction channel or a creator out there, there's other ways to hustle, y'all. Just putting it out there. Yeah, man, this is Mel Gibson, just shatters woke culture. And Hollywood is furious, which is interesting.
City boy, city boy.